Man City will beat Brentford by 5-1. Fee, are you listening? City will score their 5 goals through the chances they get. Bournemouth will score 1 goal. So assuming City misses all the 5 chances that came their way, Brentford would have won that game by 1-0. Football, you pick your moment and then you shine. Antoine Semenyo cannot miss this chance only for us to blame the head coach. Jordan Ayew cannot miss this chance. Inaki Williams cannot miss this chance for us to blame the coach. So that's where I'm looking at it from. We played very well. I think the coach did his best.
Zando, first of all, I think that analyzing Black Stars is beginning to get a little bit boring and
monotonous.
Yes, the monotonous. I really do think so.
Boring.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit boring.
We say the same things all over.
Yeah, we see the same things all over again. But you see, on a bit of Chris Hughton's sack, I agree. I don't think that Chris has to be sacked yet. Have you knows I always disagree with him when it comes to this.
So when
I don't think we have sacked him yet because you mentioned CK Akono, you mentioned Kwasi PM, you mentioned Milo, you mentioned Otto. Otto wasn't sacked, but if we let Chris go, it means that 4 coaches would have been sacked under this tenure of the FA. And I see these things and I ask myself questions. That's what is the recruiter's job? Who does the recruiting? What did we want? So that we shape our expectations according to that. Zando, we look as if that we always plant apples, but then we want to harvest oranges. It is not possible. Yes, I remember on the eve of Chris's appointment, myself and our colleague in Accra, Daniel Quarantine, were with Musbao. And
Joy News.
Yes, and we had a conversation. And I remember both Daniel and myself, the same thing. When we were asked what you should expect from Chris Hughton, we said that Chris wasn't the guy that was going to give us free-flowing, flamboyant football for us to be excited and be able to wax lyrical. He will try and be effective and efficient. And that's what he has tried to do. This is first competitive loss or official loss.
So you caution Ghanaians not to expect beautiful football from Coach Chris Hughton?
Yes, you cannot expect that from him. That's why he was.
That's not his style.
Yes, that's why he was sacked at Brighton. That's why he was made to leave at Brighton. Because Brighton wanted to play a next level football that is more free flowing, more attacking. And they had to bring in somebody else who could do that job because he cannot deliver. And that is my worry. That if you are going to go into every game and we are going to play in a 4-2-3-1 compact, especially at the Barbara Stadium, and then wait for the second half to effect changes, then I'm worried. Again, what is our general plan as a nation with respect to certain players? In the game against Madagascar, we heard that Mohamed Kudus was going to get injured. Because Mohamed Kudus was injured, that's what necessitated or pushed him to play Andre Ayew, who we all believe that isn't match fit and has not had club football enough.
But he had the option in Majid Ashimeru.
So the Majid Ashimeru one is also very dicey because Majid had just come out from injury. He played 45 minutes here in Kumasi. He traveled to Comoros. And then later, he starting him, the doctors may say no, that may be too much for him.
So indulge me on this one. Majid Ashimeru won the game for the Black Stars from the bench against Madagascar virtually. He was our best player. And now, after accumulating 45 minutes, you'd expect that he was building the momentum in terms of the fitness. Now, according to Coach Chris Hughton, he didn't start Majid Ashimeru in that game against Madagascar because he had not been fully fit, for the past 3 months. He barely plays. That's according to the head coach. Andre Ayew has been attacked since September or since summer or since he was released from Nottingham Forest. He has been attached. He had never kicked, football, competitive football. Okay, Majid Ashimeru had the benefit of playing a part in that win over Madagascar. He was building. He was gathering the momentum. It is only fair and logical that in the next game, because he won the game for us virtually, he was the best player on the pitch in the second half. You start him ahead, so you don't bench Majid Ashimeru on the same reason you based on to start Andre Ayew.
Zando, so
you started Andre Ayew, who was not much fit as well.
Zando, so if our listeners remember, I was one of the very few people together with Avi who were very vocal and verbatim on Majid. I remember I met somebody from Majid's camp. And he was watching my analysis on Insha the morning before at the stadium. So I walk in and he tells me that, he was listening on radio in the morning and he had not seen me before, but this is exactly what he was expecting. We exchanged it. We spoke later. But you see, if a player hasn't played for a very long time because of injury, not because he doesn't have a club,
injury,
he comes and he plays 45 minutes, very intense, and then he travels in just 2 days. We played that game in Ghana on Friday,
but the game was on Tuesday.
Then the next game.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have 3 days.
Yes, they did recovery on Saturday. Then they flew out to Ghana, I think, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. He has to play. So in 1 week, he has to play another 45 minutes or even more. Most of the times, the sports and science people will tell you that.
Who advise against that?
Yeah, you may be putting too much pressure on him.
Really?
Yes, he may relapse. So you have to calm down with him.
I see.
The interview you speak about was after the game against Madagascar. Yeah. He wasn't asked. I've not heard anything about why he didn't start Majid Ashimeru when they went there at the Comoro Islands.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear that. But that's my thinking. Andre Ayew wasn't supposed to play. That's what I'm saying, that it's a problem. The problem wasn't that Andre is playing. Why do you have Ashimeru on the bench? No. The problem is that if Ashimeru is injured, if Andre hasn't played good football, if Edmondano has not played this season for his club side, then what about Jerome Opoku and the other boys that are Ghanaians? What are they? What happened to our recruitment of some of the top talents that are there? Because we have a host of players who can play in these positions and are not household names, but when they come with grooming, they may get there. So we could have planned for this injury of Kudus. We could have planned for this redundancy in terms of club level of Andre Ayew. We could have planned for that of Edmondado and not called him. Then would have brought somebody in. Because Danny Kofi is injured, and since he got injured, we have had issues with proper number 8s, but there are a lot of number 8s around. You remember the
Ghanaians?
Yes, who can play for the Black Stars. When Kofi was coming, we had the same issue. When we playing him, once he played, no, this guy is good. So that's what we should have done, and that stops at the doorstep of the coach. That's why I have issues with Chris Hughton, how we played on the day. Some of the decisions in terms of squad planning has to do with his
selection.
Yes. Why didn't he call some of these players that could play in the Kudus role or in the Partey role? Again, we are going to the African Cup of Nations. Partey looks like he's not going to play in the AFCON.
Yeah.
Then the Kofi looks like he's not going to play in the AFCON.
Mohamed
Salisu may not play in the AFCON. I mean, last night he was with the Monaco team. He has recovered, but he has not played football.
Yeah, in fact, he was withdrawn from the squad.
Exactly. He has not played football. Now, Kofi is injured. Ashimeru is now going to get full fitness. You don't go into a tournament with just one proper number 8. What is the squad planning? These are the things. Mine is not about results. I know that Chris will always be effective. It will be boring, but he will get the 1-0 win. He will get a 2-1 win. He will get it down. My problem, however, is how do we generally plan for some of these things? Because that's our biggest issue as stands now. And that's why I don't think that we just have to sack a manager. We need some level of consistency.
Okay. And he can only improve going forward.
Yes. Yeah. We cannot say that because 2026 in the USA and Canada is a possible proper destination for the Ghanaian youth. So we'll not develop our team for the long term. Yeah. And then we'll just say, oh, we just want to go when we go there. No. This is the same problem that we are going to have after that World Cup. Okay. You can't tell me that every youth after that World Cup would be in the USA or in Canada or in Mexico. Okay. A chunk, see, per the world, the World Health Organization and then the World Population Census in terms of migration, not more than even 11% of every country's population are able to travel out of the country. Yeah. So there's a very high probability that a chunk of us are going to be here, and that's okay. We want to be here and serve our motherland. But essentially, the things have to be done well. We want to qualify for the World Cup because of the pride it brings, because we deserve to be there, because we have a very good team, and then we need to do things right. Okay. What is he going to do? I think that the African Cup of Nations offers itself a very good opportunity for him to know his team. Okay. There has a possibility of playing at least 3 matches. He's going to know the team. Yeah. He's going to build from there, and he has to build from there. He goes to the African Cup of Nations. We cannot win the AFCON, but he needs to put up a very good show. We can't win the AFCON? No, we cannot win the AFCON. Okay, I see. We can't win the AFCON. This AFCON, we cannot win it.
We are not among the favorites.
We cannot be among the favorites. Have you seen the Ivorians?
Ghana is a top football nation.
Ghana was a top football nation.
It's still a top
football nation. We are not a top football nation again.
Our local clubs are playing in Africa inter-club competitions.
No, you know when somebody was excellent at what he did and then now retires, then goes home and then eats from his pension money.
We have been doing it over the past years.
You say he is a top. The person is not. He was.
We still be top.
No.
Our players are playing top football in Europe. No. Ghana is a top nation.
So what do you mean by top football in Europe?
Our players are playing the major leagues in Europe.
Apart from Mohamed Kudus, which of your players plays?
Thomas Partey.
When was the last time he played? When was the last time he donned Arsenal?
Jordan Ayew, Crystal Palace.
When was the last time Partey donned Arsenal?
Lens plays second in the French Liga last season.
And what happened?
We've got Abdou Saleh Ahmed in there.
So you think that Lens is a top side in Europe?
A side that plays second.
No, in the French League.
Yes.
Is a top side in Europe.
But the French League is among the 5 European leagues.
And I'm asking that so long is a top side in Europe.
We've got Ghana, the top football nation.
We've added 2 tops,
yes.
so 3 tops.
No doubt about it. But you think Ghana is not a top football nation?
We are not, as it stands now, we are not.
We are having an issue, but it doesn't mean we are not among the...
In the last Coca-Cola ranking, are we even in the top 10?
No, we are not among the top 10.
Can you imagine?
I think we are in the top 15.
But how do you go to school and you are not even top 10 and say you're a top student? You can't be top.
But if we have a class,
it is like first 5. Those are the top.
If you have a class of 1,000 people and you're among the top 15, I mean you are brilliant.
No, you're not brilliant. Yes, the brilliant people are in the top 10, top 5, top 2.
Prof.